Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I'm your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm delighted to welcome an accomplished professional, an expert in fitness from Pune, India, Dr. Nikita Mittal. Nikita, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. That was really sweet of you, Ashutosh, and having being introduced by an accomplished entrepreneur himself, I think I'm honored.
Thank you so much. Dr. Mittal is the founder and chief executive officer of Danzofit, which is India's fitness brand for women. She's also the founder and creative director of Life and Dance. So, Nikita, let me ask you my first question, which is tell me a little bit about your own journey and what was the inspiration to move from a settled practice to founding Danzofit and Life and Dance?
I'll be very quick. My journey began as a physical therapist. That's what I studied. And I think I primarily studied physical therapy because movement as an education wasn't something that was prevalent in our country 25 years ago. Also not respected as a profession to be in any kind of dance. So chose a medical, paramedical field. I was passionate about working with pediatric physical therapy. And Ashutosh, while working with pediatric rehab, my heart would go out to the families and children who didn't have access to social and emotional care, educational too. So I took a sabbatical, went to the US, studied dance therapy. When I came back, I think I found my calling because it was the marriage of dance with therapeutic benefits. So that was the birth of my journey in the movement world. In 2011, when I had my first child, I also, naturally I'm an athlete into sports, a physical therapist, love fitness, but put on a lot of weight postpartum. And my postpartum weight gain weighed me down so much that I wouldn't even step into a gym because I was so embarrassed. The birth of Danzofit was my own struggle with finding right services and I think finding the right space which will accept and not judge me for being overweight. So this was my, I think, calling. I think it found me. I happened to just be at the right place at the right time. And postpartum weight gain is such a huge issue in our country today for women. So just a little bit about how it all began.
Thank you. Thank you. So let's now first talk about fitness and dance movement therapy. Can you explain the role of dance movement therapy, or what is dance movement therapy, and help me understand the role in mental and physical wellness?
Right. Beautiful question, because we always mistake dance therapy to be a form of dance. A form of dance is Kathak, it's Bharatnatyam, it's jazz, tap, ballet. These are forms of dance. Dance therapy is the universal language of movement. You breathe, that is dance. Your heart is pumping, there is a dance in your system. The earth is moving, the whole cosmos is in this dance. We say we are all living in a cosmic dance.
Correct.
The earth, the breeze is blowing, the water is flowing. So the universal language of movement, when applied with the psychotherapeutic principles, to help in physical, emotional, and social integration. If I had to give a very simple application with work from home, so much sedentary work, so much sitting. If all of us just stood up for 1 minute and did a happy dance, it did not have to be a Bollywood song. It could be anything.
Right.
But it will just immediately elevate my mood and bring me to a more present state. So that's the application of dance therapy. It's applied extensively in mental health care, in physical health too. Now, a lot of people are choosing it as a viable option for self-care, evolution, growth, transformation, healing.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. And, you did mention that Bharatnatyam, Kathak, they are forms of dance. But how does DMT differ from dance or other fitness programs?
So dance therapy does not come with the intention of teaching you anything. We do not teach you a step. We do not ask you to memorize sequence. Right now, if Ashutosh and me just decide to dance our breath, move with every inhalation and come back to my center with exhalation, I haven't essentially taught you something, but we have danced our breath. So dance does not teach, DMT does not teach, it facilitates. It's almost the difference between a teacher and a coach.
I understand.
Yeah.
Very well said. Great response. And Nikita, how do you tailor your programs for different age groups and different fitness levels?
Okay, so what happens in Danzofit is after working with thousands of women, we've come up with a very proprietary approach. What we basically say is, when we say we're the happiest workout in town, we really do everything to live by it. So when you walk into the studio, you're greeted with no weighing scales. We don't want to measure your weight. We want to measure how happy you are. After every class, did you feel wow about yourself? Did I feel great as a mother, as a wife, as a daughter, just because I took care of myself? So the program kind of becomes a combination of dance, which is fun Bollywood sequences with very scientific workouts.
Right.
And all our cool downs have a therapeutic angle. So the DMT perspective comes in and the wellness perspective comes in a cool down, where we say, let's just go crazy. Let's just dance our hearts out, because women are asked to always be very contained, very proper. So that's the little beautiful formula we came up with.
Amazing, amazing. And, when I was preparing for my conversation with you and reading about you, I was also amazed that you have an element of spirituality that also comes into your approach to fitness and DMT. So tell me more.
Spirituality has been the very blossoming to make this happen, because it was in one of my spiritual retreats with Mahatria that I discovered that there was this burning desire in me to make people experience the beauty of movement, to actually redefine dance in our country, because we always view dance either as worship,
right,
or as a performance, or as a competition. And it is actually none of these. In the very essence of our Shastra, the Natya Shastra, they say Nritya was basically used as a way of self-expression, as a way to celebrate death, birth, changes in weather. It was basically used as a mode of communication. So spiritual anchoring has been the root blossoming of everything I have done.
Right. Very interesting.
So it finds its sense in our programs, a lot of dance meditations, a lot of chanting at the end of class, because it energizes when you walk out. So for me, Mahatria's grace is what has guided me all through my journey. And I hold his finger tight and I just follow my faith.
Incredible. And you also are integrating dance movement therapy into mainstream healthcare. Tell me more, and how is this happening?
Okay, so when I was sitting in the US and studying, honestly, Ashutosh, I went there in the year 2009. I could barely afford a trip to the US. Me and my husband were both working, very new, very fresh. And I couldn't even afford some of the books. And when I was purchasing those books in the US, I wrote an email to him and one of my mentors in Pune and said that one day, I promise all of you that every student in our country who is studying dance therapy will use these books. So today I will buy these books because I envision that every student in our country will need it.
Yeah.
Because education of dance therapy, when you go to the US, even today, a master's degree will cost you 90 lakhs.
Correct.
Excluding your boarding. And I wanted to begin India's first master's program in dance therapy. It so happens Dr. Sancheti and his daughter reached out. They said, why don't you do something with us? We've never really worked. I'm a student of that hospital. I studied my physiotherapy there. We got into a beautiful understanding, like a partnership. We launched a lot of programs, some certificates. And then in 2021, we launched Asia's first master's program in dance therapy.
Wow.
Now available for students from across the world. They come to Pune and they study it at merely 3 to 5 lakh rupees. So we bridged the gap, and we also kind of made sure that we got the curriculum tailored by the best teachers in the world. Also had a lot of them as advisors for the initial year. So this integration in healthcare was because Sancheti Hospital recognized that there is something beyond just medicine and surgery. Today, in fact, I'm very proud to say that Sancheti Hospital has a OPD in creative art therapy. So you can actually walk into the hospital and say, I want to work with my depression, and you would be administered movement, music, art, drama, and allied therapies for healing, besides giving you only a medicine.
Wow. You know, and you just spoke, Nikita, about creative art therapy. I wanted to ask you, what is creative art therapy? And then there is also the Creative Art Therapy Awards. What role do they play in promoting DMT?
Okay. So creative art therapies is an umbrella term for all the art therapies like drama, dance, music, writing therapy. Like, you know, what Mega does is actually creative writing, but it's therapeutic. A lot of people are talking about journaling now, but that's a therapy. Storytelling, there's also cinema therapy, there's aroma, there's a lot of different adjunct therapies. That umbrella is called creative art therapies. Manisha Sangvi, who is the founder of Sancheti Healthcare Academy, and I were thinking of how can we contribute to the field of creative art therapies. And that was the birth of the awards. These awards recognize the unsung heroes who are sitting in remote areas of our country and doing beautiful work, using their love for humanity and combining it with their talent with creative art therapies. So we kind of invite nominations every alternate year. We screen the nominations, and we then sometimes even fund their travel and stay so that we can give them this award.
So just give me an example of you know, someone who you have funded and who has come and got the award.
Okay, so no, we don't fund their journey. We just fund their travel expense, because some of them are doing such amazing work, living really far. Okay, I'll give you an example. There's this amazing man called Mr. S. Pasha. He does a beautiful lyrical drama and play, theatrical for corporates, and all the participants are people on wheelchairs. So he does the entire Mahabharata and it's called the Mahabharata on wheelchairs. And post a conversation, I can send you some of his YouTube videos. Beautiful work. Then somebody from remote villages, a girl from Pune, an art therapist, went into the remote villages of Rajasthan and actually rehabilitated a lot of the children of the commercial sex workers, because there was so much trauma.
Right.
And she lived there for years doing art therapy, and those children would draw such angry pictures. Somebody going to hospitals and doing clowning therapy with cancer patients affected with cancer. He would dress up like, you know, the Robin Williams movie. So just small examples of singing being used in underprivileged schools to rehabilitate children with autism.
Wow.
So lots of lovely work.
Wow. I mean, I always marvel at the amount of work happening in our country, and you are supporting it in such an amazing way. So Nikita, now let's talk about Danzofit and community impact. A few minutes back, you did speak about Danzofit being the happiest workout in town. Help me understand this a little more, and if possible, give me an example.
Everything we do is out of happiness.
Okay.
The class starts with, hey, what's up? How are you? Where have you been? If you're a new member, we'll send you a very happy welcome message. There's a lot. Anyways, dance makes people happy. So, you know, we don't have to do much. Music and dance just lifts people's spirits. In fact, one of the things that all my trainers are asked to use when people are, when you go to a gym and you pick up a weight and you're like, ugh, we're, as a community of trainers, we ask people to say, smile, be happy. As you're lifting the weight, smile. I want my body to receive a message that this makes me happy. Because burgers make people happy, they keep going back to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because ice cream makes people happy, they keep going back to naturals. If my workout will make me happy, I will keep going back to workout.
Right.
So the endeavor is to make people so happy that you look forward. So now we've reached a space, Ashutosh, it's very difficult for me to give Ganpati ka chutti, Diwali ka chutti, because people, this is my happy space. I cannot live without coming to Danzofit. So the role we played is in acceptance, in being a community of loving, happy individuals. Also, I think the one big difference that we brought in the fitness industry is we tell women, your health, my responsibility. If you don't come for class, we have a almost annoying follow-up system.
I see.
Embarrassing, annoying. You will be called up, messaged, to the extent the trainer will say, "Main lene aa jata hu, ma'am." Which doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
Generally.
Absolutely. And, when you're talking about happiness and, McDonald's or ice cream or fitness, I wonder if the corporate world and some people listening to our conversation can use your own philosophy for happiness at work, where people would love to come back to work. But thank you.
Wow.
So my next question is that how does Danzofit impact the lives of its clients, particularly women?
By building the awareness that you are not only your body size. The measurement of health is when I'm happier, when I feel more energized. Stop looking at yourself as a shape. Let's define ourselves as individuals with self-confidence, with better health, with less aches and pains. Like if my period pain reduces, it's a marker of health. If in the evening at 7:30, I'm not doing chid-chid in the house, it's a positive marker of health.
Right.
If I'm regular to my workout, it's a marker of health. So Danzofit's approach is extremely educative. It's also to bring independence in thinking for women, that let's not fall for everything. Let's not fall for that weight loss pill. Let's not fall for every gimmick. Let's enjoy our workout. That is the one thing, if we can do, everything else will fall in place. So I play the pivotal role of also mentally, continuously molding the mindset of women.
Okay. You also were telling me, very briefly that every time a new member comes in, you welcome them. How have you managed to cultivate a sense of community in Danzofit?
Women are naturally people who love communicating.
Correct.
Right? So when there is a group of 20 women in a class, this 20 women become a family. So there are coffee outings, there are treks, there are, we keep doing challenges in a way that we're able to bring out the best out of them. And inside the class, naturally, they build accountability partners. तू क्यों नहीं आई? तू क्यों ऐसा कर रही है? Why are you being lazy? चलता है, बच्चों की एग्जाम है तो चलता है, घर में शादी है तो क्लास में आना जरूरी है. Just yesterday, I had an incident of a girl with chikungunya who wasn't coming to class, and the whole class went to her house, picked her up, and told her to class में आके बैठ.
How wonderful.
That will make you happy. And she's just started crying that, the kind of love and affection I get from this space, I don't even get from my closest friends.
Correct.
So providing a space and holding space with a lot of positivity and love in my intent has really helped to create a non-judgmental. A lot of people say too many women can create politics. I've never faced that, Ashutosh, because I don't have it in my heart.
Yeah. Wonderful.
So it's been lovely.
Fabulous, fabulous. So I've got time for two more questions for you. What does it mean to you to have been voted the best dance fitness studio in Pune by fraternity.com?
It means that it's time to become India's largest and first fitness brand for women.
Correct.
There are 1.4 billion people in our country, 60% women, and we don't have a single brand for women which can vouch that this approach will not only give you the right health, but also the right community to take your life ahead. A lot of women are alone, facing complex, inferiority complex, facing a lot of internal physical body stress. So it's time, Ashutosh, for us to become India's first fitness brand for women and present it to the world. हम हमेशा US or दूसरे countries से we import the brands. Like Zumba is an import from America.
Yeah.
It's time to export. Made in India to the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. And my last question to you, how do you see the future of dance movement therapy evolving, not just in India, but globally?
So globally, it's a 50-year-old field. It's come to India recently in the last 15 years, and it's already growing very fast. The community is very strong. There's a lot more awareness. Where we need to evolve is we need to, like initially physiotherapy was a very low paying profession. Then the physiotherapy fraternity had to present a lot of scientific evidence and say that we are actually very, very effective. The same thing will have to be done by the Indian movement therapy community and say, this is the evidence-based practice. It cannot all be qualitative. It has to be quantitative. It has to be very, very, and the medical professionals, like they adopted physiotherapy as an adjunct field, will start now recommending allied therapies also. So there is still a gap, and probably it's providential that today evening I'm taking a class for dance therapists on how to rightly build a viable business around being a dance therapist, because a lot of them are great professionals but are not able to build a brand.
Well, good luck with your talk this evening, and I'm sure there are going to be a lot of positives coming out of that. But on that note, Nikita, thank you so much for speaking to me about your own journey. Thank you for speaking to me about fitness and dance movement therapy. I mean, I knew a very little bit about it, but talking to you, I've got a much better understanding of what dance movement therapy is. Thank you also for talking to me about Danzofit and how you are creating these amazing spaces for women to be able to get back in shape, to be a part of a community, and to do so much more that all of us want to achieve. Thank you for speaking to me, and good luck to you.
And I just have to say thank you so much for providing your precious time to listen to a voice. That's I think that what you're doing is beautiful, Ashutosh. And
thank you so much.
More power to you and more power to your intent. So love. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.